Hey guys, how are we all doing? So Dan from Trading with Dan here. So this is our TD sequential update for major indices and some commodities and some individual stocks also. So straight over to the charts. Yeah, we'll start off with the S&P like we always do. Some pretty wild action going on. Look at that candle, guys. Honestly, just look at it. You got they're good over there in the Fed, aren't they? They know what they're doing down there in the basements of the Federal Reserve building. But yeah, so this was the trade based off the 4 hour. We had this the other day. We were targeting this, but yeah, market was too strong. But yeah, it did hit the target, but I mean, not in a way that we would have been involved in a 4 hour trade, just because we would have taken it off at the break of the 9. So yeah, but so not too much going on there. We'll delete this now because obviously that is a trade that we are no longer involved in or looking at. So what we have got going on here, we have got what is now printing as a 1. It doesn't have to get much higher for this to be a 4 hour green 8, and then obviously subsequently wouldn't have to be much. It can just hang around there to get a 4 hour 9. So that I'm looking at in conjunction with what we now have printed on the daily is a daily 9, obviously early in this day, so we've got to see how this candle looks like by the end of the day. But I mean, preliminary, we're going to put in a trade. But obviously, bear in mind, guys, that I'm drawing this in now for you, but I won't really know where this candle's going to close. But what I'll be conservative, and I will just put it at the 200-day. Basically, the 200-day moving average. It makes sense to me to do that. Makes sense for us to have the sell if we break below the 200-day. I think that should activate a sell trade, and then yeah, and we'll see where that takes us. We'll draw that line there. There's not really much historical confluence. We're quite a bit above these levels here. These highs didn't quite touch it, but yeah, we'll have it on there just purely based on the 200. And then targets wise, I would say if we break this level, if we break this level, I think at the very least, we are first looking, I mean, depending how strong the market is, we could bounce off the 618 and test the 618 as support, but I'm not too sure whether that would be enough of a move from a daily 9. You can see we've had a nice move there, but from where we are now, though, that is still quite a decent move down. So we will initially put down to here. But if we don't bounce off there, what I'd be looking at, secondly, I'd be looking at the 0.5 fib, and then the 0.5 fib, in my experience, isn't the most important Fibonacci level. I mean, it's basically just halfway. It's halfway. It's not like there's nothing special about 50%. There's something special about half. Obviously 382, 618, 236, they're more important. But yeah, so, and then if we do break the 0.5, then yeah, the 382 I think would be a realistic target, which is in line up with some of this historical confluence here, which would be a potential good spot if we're not going to make new lows, and we're going to push higher in this market. This, looking at it on this daily time frame, makes the most sense as an area for us to basically bounce from and then put in a higher low. That's what I mean, obviously these highly speculative comments I'm making here. Do you know what I mean? I always think it's silly just predicting that the direction the market will go, where it will stop, and then where it will reverse from. I always think that's a bit silly, but that this is the area that I think maybe potentially a level. So we'll see how this plays out. Again, over to the 4 hour, we could be getting a nice 9 printing on the 4 hour, which would be nice confluence with what we're looking at. See if we've got anything on the 1 hour. See if we've already topped out on a 9 on the 1 hour. We sort of have, guys. So you could pinpoint the entry from here. I can't hindsight trade and put this on, but based on an hourly, which I don't trade hourly charts, 4 hour minimum, but yeah, you would put like a line under this 9. Once you break it, then you're in the short trade, which we did pretty much on the next candle. We kind of tested, we kind of there or thereabouts. So, but we'll see what happens. But yeah, 9 candles can be often, I always talk about this, 9 candles often can be accelerated into, so we could get a big 9 candle, a big blow off top. It's obviously looking like a doji now, but this is, it's 10 hours to go. We'll say we're just over halfway through this candle, so anything can happen with this candle at the moment. It's not a very big candle. We can get to the top. It could be a nice green one. It could already start the sell off. This candle now, 9, could take us already into the sell off. I mean, look, see, they've got the 9 here. This candle, obviously, we rallied into it and then we sold off afterwards. Yeah, and there's obviously not any other daily 9s. Yeah, the 9 here, we didn't really do much and we came down. The 9 here, look, we sort of did sell off on the 9. We came back and then tested nearly to the top of it, and then we broke down again. This 9 here was obviously a bit premature. I mean, the low, you could have, if you bought on the low, we still would have obviously gone offside a bit, but ultimately we did reverse around there. So yeah, that's what I'm looking at, the S&P. So let's now have a look at oil. We did have an oil trade. What we had, oh god, gosh, golly gosh. Can I just click this? Will you sort my charts out? We'll put it on the 4 hour. You know that was obviously based on the daily 9. So we sort of had the trade based on the daily candle. We haven't closed yet below this yet. And we are looking like we're getting a 4 hour 9 in 8 hours potentially. So see if we can work now. Right, if we get rid of this and now click it. Oh, jeez. This is why I've not really been using this oil chart. But what I can show you is that we haven't broken this level yet. We haven't closed below this on the daily candle yet. So this was the 9, this was the sell level. We haven't broke below, but we are very close to closing a daily below here and triggering a short trade into these moving averages. Oh, there we go, look. Triggering a short trade into these potentially targeting these moving averages. So that's what I'm looking at in oil. USO, we know like you guys showed USO. Similar trade, based off a 4 hour chart this time. 4 hour 9, yeah, still not closed the 4 hour candle below, so we've not activated this short. So we are waiting. This is how you should be trading. You have to wait for your confirmations. You can't just jump in the trade straight away. We haven't had our close, our 4 hour closure. Sorry, this is an 8 hour. Well, so we had an 8 hour 9. Interesting. I didn't even know that, but hey, it's based on the 4 hour 9 here. It's based on this 4 hour 9. So this was our sell trade. We've not confirmed below it. But yeah, the amount of 9s popping up just tell me, or maybe we are going to have a bit of a retrace. And like I said, I'm targeting these moving averages on the daily. This moving average basically on the daily is what our target was. Gold. So gold basically, so we called the breakdown here. This is all based on a 4 hour time frame. So if we look at this is just textbook TD trading. So we had our sell level. We broke below our sell level. I mean, we could have sold higher and higher 9s, but we had it drawn in here. I think, did we have it drawn in from a daily, the actual initial sell level? No, we did have it drawn in from a 9, but we could have had it drawn in from that daily, but we still played around with the price action a bit there. But no, it was drawn off one of these 9s. Probably this 9 here. I was looking at the sell. So sorry, I put one of these 9s. Either way, we drew the line. We looked at the historical confluence. That was the sell trade. We drew it on in real time. We said basically we'll probably come down to here, and then we're probably looking at a 9 again on the 4 hour, which we did, and then I think that will potentially be the bounce. I think it did coincide with the moving average on the daily. No, it didn't. It just was based on the fact we were coming up on this 9. So then I drew this line saying we're probably gonna get the 9 soon, and then bounce off around this level, and then just like magic, we basically bounced straight off it. So I mean, this is just great trading. It's just great. It's great analysis, guys. I mean, if you were involved in this, I was involved in this, to the short side and to the long side, and I'm still long this. So this has made a move, hasn't it? Oh no, sorry, this is because it's the COMEX. Yeah, sorry, I was looking at the spot prices trading at a different price to this COMEX price. Yeah, anyway, so yeah, just great trade. This just shows how the sequential works great. So we waited for our trade, our sell trade, we got it, we waited for the buy 9. We did sort of prematurely draw this in, but this was on yesterday's video where I said, look, we're printing this 9 candle. I'm going to draw it roughly here because this is where I think it'll be, but obviously we need to wait to see what happens in this candle because we can accelerate through. Anyway, so over to silver. Silver, I'm guessing we never activated that sell trade. This was our sell trade, and if basically what we drew was if we bounce off this line and we don't break it, then onwards and upwards. So that's basically what we are looking at, just the onwards and upwards of that. There's daily 9 there. That's where it was drawn from, the daily 9. So if we do break below these moving averages, if we don't break below, then accelerating into it. We had some nice 4-hour 9s to pinpoint some sells off. Like this was obviously one which we clearly didn't break. And then we got a nice one here, which we could have drawn the line there, the sell line, and then we did break that. Great sell trade. And then obviously we actually just got to that sort of support zone. But yeah, it would have been a great trade off the 4-hour 9. Gold silver ratio. Yes, we're sort of playing with this level down here. We are kind of close 4 hours, but this was based on the daily. I don't think we closed the daily below here. We did close the daily, so yeah. So we are basically hoping I'm hoping basically for now extension down to the moving average, so the 200 days. So we've nullified this 9 here that's the extent of its bounce. It's 1 to 4 candle bounce, 1, 2, 3 candles, and then resuming the downtrend. So when I say I hope this will happen, I am long a lot of physical silver, so I'm actually wanting that to basically get back to the levels that basically just better levels for the gold silver ratio. That's what I'm trying to say. Home Depot, we'll just look at copper first, and then we'll go to Home Depot. So yeah, copper literally just playing in the trend, playing in the channel. We had some fantastic trades on copper also. We had the 9 here, great sell, and then basically this was obviously our support channel, which we then bounced off the support. So get short, and then you can then buy once we break back into the channel. But we are obviously coming up on this this basically we didn't get it. We nearly got the 9 on the 4-hour, which would have been a buy, but we didn't quite get it. So we're really in no man's land now. You could still be sitting on your long. I'm not long because I'm bearish of this. I'm only taking the shorts, but yeah, you could be sat on this long. And obviously just have a stop basically at break even and see if we do make the top of the channel. So let's have a look at some stock markets, some stocks, sorry, not some stock markets. So we've got this Home Depot 9 on the daily. I mean, that's just the trade we're waiting for. If we break below here, activate a short trade. If we don't, just onwards and upwards. What else are we looking at? Tesla. There's nothing really to draw on Tesla. We've got a daily 9 coming up. This is in line with the stock market, so maybe we're going to get a bit of a sell. It's very tight price action here, so I do think a move is going to give us quite a bit of an expansion of the range here. Tilray, haven't looked at Tilray in forever. Not really much on the 4-hour, not much on the daily either. Nice daily 9 at the low here. Yeah, not too much to look at there. What are those tanker stocks doing? This daily 9, great daily 9 there. That did quite well. Nearly got to a 9 there. This 9 didn't do much, but then you just wouldn't have taken the trade. Your buy trade would have been above here. Never activate, although it's going to activate now. It's going to activate soon, if not already. Soon, if this candle keeps going up. So maybe you'll end up on a day trade based on the daily movement. 4-hour, anything on the 4-hour? Yeah, no, I mean, here is your buy level. Here's the 9, your buy level, probably around here. So you break through. Yeah, you basically, well, as soon as you close through, it was a great trade. It's a great 4-hour trade on the 4-hour for that too. Let's have a look at McDonald's. McDonald's, how are you doing? McDonald's 4-hour, lining up for a nice trade. See, we've got on the daily, but I will put this 4-hour trade in so we can keep an eye on it. Yeah, not too much on the daily, but we'll put this 4-hour trade in so we can keep an eye on this. Yeah, this horizontal level, historical confluence, bottom of the 9 candle. Let's just get rid of that and put our arrow down. I mean, this is the 4-hour. I'll just adjust this on the daily when I can give myself a bit of a target. Here we go. Here's the daily. What are we looking at? Well, yeah, to be honest, it's not. It may not be a big move. It may just be the 200. But yeah, but if we do break that, no, sorry, that's not even the 200. Sorry, that's the 50. But yeah, if we break that, obviously if we break that, we are looking quite. We're still under the 200 here. So we 200 downward sloping. The 21 at that point will be downward sloping, and then the 50 will be 50 will probably still be about flat or maybe slightly upward sloping. So yeah, McDonald's trade on there. So yeah, that's that. I'll cut the video off here then, so save the length of the video. But yeah, so remember, it's not a financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. Always do your own research. Also guys, smash the likes if you would, that'd be much appreciated. And finally, any tickers you want me to have a look at, just leave them in the comments and we can look at them in tomorrow's video. So thanks for listening guys, and I'll speak to you soon.